Hi. Recently, I had a really good question of one of my old photography friends about why I make some of my equipment instead of just going out to a shop and buying it. Um, I have to admit, one reason is because of cost. I knew when I got my very first camera, and I started out a couple of years ago that this was going to be an expensive thing to get into, and I would have to invest a lot in equipment like flash guns, new lenses, batteries, etc. like that. And when I first started out, all I had was a bar job, um, very little minimum wage. Since I was a young age, I've always been good at building things using materials I can get my hands on, either from the DIY store, craft store, etc. like that. And a couple of years ago, when I first started out and got my first camera, I knew this was gonna be an expensive hobby slash profession. When I first got my first camera body and my first lens, I literally had nothing left, no money left to buy other equipment, and it would be at least another couple of years before I can start making money and get the equipment I need. So I do find myself building some of that equipment as not a desperate measure, but in a measure I might need that equipment for the future. For instance, the DIY ring flash, which I built for only a couple of pound out of a jelly mold from the pound shop. Um, I didn't really need it at the time, but it was just like it's such a fun project to get into, and it turns out a really good thing to have, especially for model shots or even at parties. Probably my most well-known build is my DIY camera lens. It's not a total built from scratch lens, but for instance, but what I did was I took an old Russian lens from 30 or 40 years ago and took apart the body and just built up a whole new body to it. So now instead of being a 55mm lens, it's now a 55mm tilt shift lens. I ended up building a whole backdrop system for my portable studio, so I can do on location photo shoots with friends and clients. Even though that's just built out of PVC piping, it's still after about a year and a bit after I built it, it's still holding up quite well. And I'm still willing to use it for another couple of years until maybe I get my own studio space. So, as I said, the reason I build these things is because it's just one to save money, and two, I've always had a bit of a knack to build things, not 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 quality things, but some of the builds I've done have been quite useful in my photography, and it's been quite impressive. I'm quite impressed at how long they've actually held it up. So there's my reason about why I still use equipment I build. I don't really see myself buying any of the top end expensive equipment for a while. Just for the pure fact is what I've built now does the job. So, anyways, hope that gives you a nice explanation about why I build some of my stuff. Um, so hope you keep an eye on this fan page for any more videos. So, bye bye.